Hey, how are you? Okay, hi guys. Sorry about that. Hi Instagram, hi Facebook, how are you doing? I do apologise, a little technical hitch there, but it's all relevant to today's topic. So let me know as you come on. I'm back, say hello. And if you want to say hi, please do, and then I will give you a little shout out with your name. So hello Rudy, how are you, lovely? There we go. Right, so hi Safa, nice to see you again. How are you, lovely? Hope you've had a good week. Right, I'm just going to jump straight in with what actually has just happened. Hi, Kate. How are you, lovely? Oh, my goodness. This is lovely. Thank you very much. All good. All good. Hi, good evening. Right, so literally, hi, Max. How are you, lovely? Literally, what's just happened? Hi, Rudy. I've literally just had trouble getting on Instagram. Okay, now, quite often, what I want you to understand is when we've been talking about growth this week, about how uncomfortable it can make you feel and how it stretches you out of your comfort zone. What's just actually happened, that's good, Rudy, good to see you. What's just actually happened is I just had a technical hitch. Now, anybody who knows me, it's not my zone of genius, okay? Sometimes everything just flies brilliantly, and other days I just get a little bit stuck. So that is just what's happened. Something just wasn't quite going to plan. No problem, because what it does, it's taught me something. So before I go into the content, what I want you to say is when anything is bothering you and suddenly you can't find a way through it, and then you do find something, just remember, by learning to do something new, even though it feels uncomfortable, is your growth. It's important to your growth, important about how you can change, how you can move forward, how you can be a better version of yourself. So quite often we stop, sometimes we stop. It would have been very easy for me to go, oh, that's it, I'm not doing live feed tonight. No, I thought, no, I know people are waiting, so I wanted to be accountable and let's do that. I think I've got Caroline there. Hi, lovely, how are you? So what I want you to understand is, even though sometimes things, hi Susan, even though sometimes things don't quite go your way to begin with, just keep pushing through, because that is how we learn, that is how we grow. So this week I've had a really good week actually. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've been decluttering my office and making some space. Now, when we declutter, when we get rid of, we are making way for other things. We are making way for a different form of energy. So quite often, if you felt like everything gets on top of you and then you have a good old tidy up, or I don't know, you just change furniture around you, you just do something different, what you're actually doing is you're making way for something new. And quite often we underestimate the power of decluttering, and it's important. It is really important. So this is just some little tips that have come up through the week. We've had some amazing feedback from people, and you know what, if you are in the vicinity and you do, thanks Rudy, if you do see people and you think, you know what, they need a little bit of uplift, guide them along towards my pages on Facebook or on Instagram. Let them know that they're not on their own. Maybe if you find that there is somebody around you that will benefit from this, just tag me, just let them say hello, let them come this way, because we're all about pulling together. And this isn't about, literally changing your world like this. This is about gradually embedding some positivity. Hi Kate. Embedding some positivity in you to just get things moving forward, to unstick you from where you are right now. And what we often forget is we want to make these changes and we want to suddenly grow into the next beep, you fill in the gaps. But what we have to start with is actually with our core, with ourselves. And quite often we forget to do that. So what I do is I take you right back to basics, right back to inside of you, right back to what you think, because what you think is where it all starts, okay? We can all get thrown in at the deep end, and that's fine, but we can really hit some barriers because we're not really prepared for it up here. Now, the more we repeat something, the more we have that repetition, the more that we can change things around and stick to it consistently. Okay, hi Layla, hi lovely, hi Patricia, how are you? Let me know where you're watching from, guys, because there's some people on here that I'm not aware of, so it'd be really lovely to know where you actually are in the country or in the world. I'm based over in the UK. Hi Layla, hi lovely. So yeah, please let me know. Okay, right, so first of all, one of the things that came up today, this week I should say, is about stretch and grow. Okay, now quite often we find that's when we step out of our comfort zone, when we feel uncomfortable about doing something new, we retreat back to safety. We retreat because that's where we feel more cozy. It's like trying to get out of your bed in the morning. You want to go back to bed because it feels cozy and familiar, and that's just what you want to do. But sometimes we just have to really step out of our comfort zone, because that is where the growth actually happens. Now, I was saying to my group in the week, my Breakfast Boost group in the week, that quite often when we want to start doing something new and it feels very, very uncomfortable, let's go right back to those basics. Okay, so imagine a little seed in the ground, okay, a tiny little seed in the ground, and it's planted in that soil, and that is where your core is. That's the start of you, of what you want to be and what you want to do. And that seed is right down in that soil. There's no shoots, there's no growth in it at all, but it's in there, but it is germinating, it's doing something, because everything is a form of energy. And what we start to do is we water it a little bit, maybe the sun shines a little bit, and gradually that tiny little shoot starts to sprout, just a tiniest little bit, and it's just starting to grow. And sometimes you can't even see the growth. You can't even see the growth because it's so minimal, but something is moving and something is growing. And that's like you starting to maybe watch live feeds, starting to look at positive posts, starting to do just tiny little movements, tiny little things that literally just get a bit of growth moving. Now, when we start to grow and think about that little shoot, it's got to push through that soil, hasn't it? It's got to start pushing through. Sorry about that. And it can be really uncomfortable. When we start those changes, we can feel, where we go, what's that? I agree, everything is a form. Absolutely, 100%. But that little shoot starting to push through that soil is really, really powerful, but it's only the tiniest movements but starts to make the biggest difference. Now, when we start on our journey of self-development, when we start trying to change our mindset, when we start deciding we want to be more confident, or we'd like to get rid of this anxiety because it drives us crazy, or we don't want to be stressed anymore, we want to make some changes, we have to start making some changes that are definitely going to feel uncomfortable. So as we start to stretch our imagination, as we start to stretch our thoughts, as we start to consciously choose to do things that we've never done before, it's going to feel horrible. Okay, now, I'm not sure how many people here are drivers. As some of you that are watching will know, that I am a driving instructor. I still teach every now and then, and I really, really enjoy it. But it's like getting in a car for the first time and not having a clue about what you're doing. Okay, not a clue. You have to be you have to be taught to do something consciously. You have to become a conscious incompetent. And that is where the trouble is. Sometimes we forget that actually we have to start doing things we don't normally do and feel uncomfortable to get where we want to get. There's a phrase from, I think it's somebody Gray, I've forgotten the name, I'll try and put it up. It's about doing things. Successful people have to do things that others don't want to do. Now, being successful doesn't mean to say you're going to open the millionaire billion company. It doesn't mean to say that actually you've just got promoted to managing director of a huge company. What it means is success is what is important to you, and that could be getting out of bed in the morning because you've been struggling. That could be speaking to somebody. Hi, Eilish. Hello, my lovely. And that could be doing something you've never done before, but you really want to do it. It could be just showing up in your own world each day. That is a form of growth because you'll keep moving. We live in an ocean of motion. We keep moving forward, and we keep doing things that we don't want to do to get where we want to get. So what I want to encourage you to do is think about this, stretch and grow. If we're going to grow, we need to do something different to move us forward. And imagine all those experiences along the way. Hey, lovely. Imagine all those experiences along the way. Now, if we don't get new experiences, we're going to stay where we already are. And if we keep revisiting where we used to be or where we are, maybe from a place of pain, then we're not ever going to move forward, and we're never going to grow either. So what I want you to invite you to do, is there something, and you can tap it in if you want to, is there something in your world that you would like to do, but you haven't ever done it yet, but set the intention that you're going to start moving forward. And I can guarantee if you start thinking from a place of here, and the more you think about it, the more you repeat, the more your thoughts will start to grow, and then you will consciously start to actually take actions to do those things. And like I said, that could be turning up to watch these live feeds. Sometimes people feel a bit unsure about it, a little bit nervous about it. That's okay. But the more familiar you come with it, the more you're going to do it. It's like, I think this is probably my 4th Sunday, correct me if I'm wrong, someone who's been, oh, your dream home, your farm. Are you going to still buy your farm? So yeah, if you think about this, I didn't do these lives on a Sunday evening up until, probably this is my 4th, I think this is my 4th one. And with that, what I then do, I take these videos and I upload them to a newsletter, and that goes out to my mailing list. And this is me starting to get myself out there. Now, I speak from the heart and speak as I find. I am learning as I go, and many of my followers have been with me for the last couple of years on my Breakfast Boost group, and they've seen me grow and I've seen them grow. And some days it's hard, some days it's easy, some days it flows, and some days it doesn't, and some days we all want to give up, and that is okay. But the difference is, if you start to keep moving forward and pushing through, then things will start to change. Safa, smash my teaching degree and move on doing my masters. Fantastic. And how do you feel doing that? Do you get scary days? Do you get the days that you don't? Because that's amazing. That is amazing. And that's something I think, wow, I would never be able to do that. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But that shows your passion, Safa. That really shows your passion. So, and is there anyone on Facebook? Is there anything that you've got that you think, I'd really like to do that, but I'm a little bit nervous and I'm a little bit scared? And one thing that I want to say to you, always find somebody that knows how to do what you want to do. Because if you find someone who knows what you want to do, then the chances are you're going to be led by the right people, the people that already experienced that pain of growing, that pain of finding something new, those moments of success where you just feel absolutely exhilarated, and other moments where you just think, oh, I just can't do this anymore. Always know that there's somebody that's already followed or been in your pathway. They've already been through what you're going through, and so you can get support like that, and that will help you grow as well. Okay, I've got some little notes here. Right, okay. Anything, oh, Safa, thank you. I get days where I break down, I feel like a failure just because of others that tell me that I won't do it, but I can't see the rest of your message. Type that in again for me, lovely. Do you know what? That's the thing. Quite often there are people around you that can't do or don't want to do the things that you want to do, and therefore we become discouraged by that. But quite often, if you just keep stepping forward, there's always something in the back of my head telling me I started this degree because I knew I was capable. Absolutely. And the thing is, when you start something new, what is your dream? What is your passion? What is it that you're aiming for? Because when you're aiming for something and that's your goal, remember those goals are there and those intentions are there to help you actually grow. And if you start to use them as a method of growing, then the goal actually doesn't seem as scary, because what it's doing is developing you as a person. It's developing you as a human being. Where are we? And there we go, I've got this written here. Discomfort is part of your growth. It's natural. It really is part of your growth. Now, if you think about this, think about going to the gym. You want to grow some muscles. You want to get fitter. So by going to the gym, you're going to exercise, and that's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be cause discomfort. Just as if you start to change your mindset or your confidence, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. So imagine going to the gym maybe 3 or 4 times in a couple of weeks. Gradually your muscles will start to change. And again, if you tap into something new, so Safa, maybe when you started your degree, that was probably very, very uncomfortable, but now you're probably used to the routine, even though you have tough days. And I know there's people watching on Facebook right now who have had moments where they felt like giving up, and yet they've kept going through that discomfort, that horrible patch, because then we start to get used to it, and that's when the subconscious mind starts to actually kick in. Okay, if you've got any questions or anything else you want to add, please feel free that you can pop it in, and then we'll go through that as well. Okay, right, another little thing. Remember, we are human. We're not superhuman. We're super, but we're not superhuman. That means that basically things come to try us, okay? They do come to try us, but what I want you to look at them as challenge them as a way of your growth. Remember that once you get past something, past that point of no return, it actually feels more exhilarating, and you will be gaining that wisdom and that growth that you can actually move on and do things for other people, or you can move forward and just keep moving forward for yourself. So we've got all these things that actually help you with that growth, and your mindset over this is really, really important, and especially how you teach yourself, okay? How you speak to yourself. Now, if you speak to yourself kindly, you're more likely to be kinder to yourself moving forward. Safa, I think you learned that, yes, you're going to have bad days, but remember why you started off doing what you wanted to do, because it's your dream and anything is possible if you work hard and try your best. I agree 100%. Thank you, my lovely. 100%. Okay, sometimes we set ourselves these goals. I've set myself quite some amazing goals this year, and they could be a little bit scary, but the scarier they are, the more of a challenge that I find it, and the more of the challenge that they are, the more I want to complete it. And are there days about where you want to give up? Of course, totally understandable and totally normal. Okay, right, let's move on. Okay, this is a really important point, and I do mention this quite a lot with my ladies. Okay, remember, whatever is happening for you. Okay, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you to help you grow. It's happening for you to gain experience. It's happening for you so that you can guide other people. It's happening for you so that maybe whatever it is that you're studying or you're aiming for is actually going to enrich somebody else's life. So whatever is happening to you is happening for you. Even in that moment, it may not feel that way at all. There's been some times in my life where I've just felt like everything was falling apart, but I now see it was pulling me together to help me move forward to do what I love doing now, which is encouraging people and building people's confidence, and not making people the most confident person in the world, but making people feel comfortable in their own skin so that they can move forward. And I'm grateful for the situations that I have been in, because they help me have empathy, sympathy and compassion for other people as well. So wherever you are at in your world, oops, sorry, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons tonight. So wherever you are in your own world, please know that these situations are moving you forward to where you want to be, not where maybe you think you should be. They're moving you forward, and it's okay to dream. Okay, those dreams can help you grow as well. The more you think about things, the more that they again embed in your subconscious mind. Now it's your choice whether they're going to be uplifting or they're going to pull you down. Now quite often we have that balance, and sometimes we have that imbalance, and when we dip, it could be because there's actually an awful lot going on and we're forgetting to take time for ourselves, or it could be that you're tired, and when we're tired our energy drops as well. Safa, thanks lovely. I never used to think the way I do now, but since listening to your, bless you, and your inspiring words has helped me so much. So grateful always. Mwah, thank you, bless your heart, that's really lovely. And we've actually had a conversation, haven't we? So we've got a little bit in common. We go to college, or I went to college in the same place as Safa, so you know what, that's just made this whole live feed worthwhile. Thank you so much. All right, so there you go. So keep thinking forward and keep thinking about what can inspire you to move forward, and what is growth to you. Is growth back planting that little tiny seed of thought and nurturing it and start thinking and thinking and thinking about it, and tapping into something every day. You're welcome. Tapping into something every day that is good for your soul, because let's face it, we often tap into things every day that don't feed our soul, or they don't benefit us, or they don't nurture us. So if we've got that choice, to think uplifting or not. We've got that choice of letting things drag us down or not. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that situations do happen and things do happen on a regular basis that potentially can pull us back to where we were before. But what I want you to know is, remember that you've got that choice to move forward, but also it's so important to sit with things. So let's go back to that small seed. Sometimes that seed won't look like it's germinating at all, but there is something going on in there, because we've got energy. Energy is vibrating all speeds of vibration at all times. So even if you feel that you may be stagnant, maybe that's your moment of just retreating to grow, okay? Maybe change down a gear, gain a bit more energy, ready to go again. So in that case as well, it's important not to compare yourself. So as you grow, somebody else might be growing at a different rate. That's their journey. That's not your journey. And quite often when we feel low in ourselves, or we're lacking in confidence, or low in self-esteem, what we end up doing is we compare ourselves, think that somebody's better than us, and then we stop doing what we're really good at anyway. So it's important to stay in your own lane, put the blinkers on, put those blinkers on, and literally start thinking, right, okay, in this moment, what can I do to move myself forward? Rather, what am I not doing that that person's doing? They're on their journey and you are on your journey. An analogy that I use with my ladies is quite often, think about being on a motorway and you're all driving at different speeds, but you're all going to the same destination, okay? Some of you take pit stops, some of you might get a flat tyre, you might get a bump in the road, you might just stop off at the service station to have a quick break. Remember, everyone is still moving forward in the same direction, but at different speeds. So try to avoid comparing yourself, because when we start comparing, we start to pull ourselves back and we stunt our growth, basically. We do stunt our growth. Okay, so I'm going to finish off in a couple of minutes. If there's anybody else got anything to say, anything to comment, anything to ask, please do. But what I want you to know is where you're at now is absolutely okay. Try not to beat yourself up. Try not to pull yourself back. Try not to think, why is this happening to me? Just in that moment, just think, okay, this is happening for me. This is creating something for me to move forward with. Okay, now if anybody would like to know any more, I've got 7 spaces left on my Breakfast Boost Club. I'm taking 10 people in January, and each new person that signs up will be gaining a free one-to-one confidence booster session with me. So I've got 7 spaces left. So if you would like to have one of those spaces, please message me, or the link is in my bio if you'd like to join up straight away. And you'll be most welcome, and you'll be amazed at the amount of welcoming that you do get from that group, and you'll be tapping in every single day to a little bit of positivity. Pretty much, if you've got your phone, you've got a coach on tap in your pocket. So if you'd like to join me, please do let me know. So just to finish off, just remember, don't ever forget where you came from, but just remember that you don't need to stay there. If you want to move forward, you can. If you want to grow, you can. It's just about putting that little seed in the ground, adding a little bit of water, and keep moving forward. Hello, Ao. Hello, my lovely. So keep moving forward, and you have got the ability to create whatever you want by that thought process. Some days it's going to be tough. Some days it's going to be fluid. Some days it's going to be easy. But please know that you've got it within you, but you need to choose to want that. And if you'd like some help with that, I'm here to help you. So I'm going to be finishing off now. And if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter, if you go to my website at www.lisahawkyard.com, hey Io, then what I want you to do is go there and just subscribe to my newsletter, and just get that once a week. I won't inundate you, I promise. Okay, so I'm Lisa Hawkyard, the mother of all coaches, and I'm here to empower your mindset to empower you. Please let me know if you've got any questions. I'm happy to help. I'll be online for the next 20 minutes or so, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, have an amazing evening, and enjoy your week ahead. The new topic going into this new week is hope. So we will be talking about hope and what that brings to you. And if anybody is in the Essex area, I've got happiness classes tomorrow night at Drake Road, 6:45 at the community centre, and online if anyone's out of the area at 8:30 tomorrow night. So lots of information and lots of ways to actually improve your mindset. So take care, have a lovely evening, and have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care.